This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today evening news update for Thursday, October 22nd. Thank you for joining us. I am Marie-Claire Williams. We begin with news that an 84-year-old bank hall woman has been forced to find new lodgings after being evicted from her home. Doris King is now a resident at the Vauxhall Senior Citizens Home after the bank foreclosed on her house. Senator David Durant tells Barbados Today the house was mortgaged by her nephew.
The welfare department has come to the rescue of an elderly lady. 84 years of age, in a wheelchair. We heard that she's being evicted. I was called and immediately I dropped what I was doing and make sure I got to the location where I was directed. And I saw the old lady. I spoke with her, Miss Dorothy King. I spoke with her. I heard her side of the story. And then I made sure I spoke with the other family member that she mentioned to hear his side of the story. And the final analysis is that the marshals had a court order to evict her.
Police have issued an appeal for the public's help in finding another missing teenage girl. 14-year-old Nichelle George of Hunts Road, Carrington Village, St. Michael, left home on September 18 between 6:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. and has not been heard from since. Police say Nichelle is about 5 feet 6 inches tall, of stout build, short black braided hair, brown complexion, round face and protruding front teeth. She has a mole to the right side of her chin and is bow-legged. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Nichelle George is asked to contact police emergency number 211 or the nearest police station. And lawmen were outing their numbers today as the search continued for the missing St. Philip woman, Marcel Smith. 75-year-old Smith has been missing for the past 10 days, and in a joint operation, 43 Barbados Defence Force soldiers and 28 officers of the Royal Barbados Police Force combed Lowlands Christchurch from around 5:15 this morning, and the search lasted about 3 hours. Police spokesman David Welch says there was some information that led them to that area, but they made no significant discovery. And in more police news, a large quantity of drugs was destroyed at the Grantley Adams International Airport today. The drugs are valued at over $20 million. Police PRO David Welch says they included cannabis, cannabis plants, and cocaine.
In the case of the adjudication and sampling and certification, cannabis, 1,650.4 pounds, cocaine, 104.1 kilos. Cannabis plants, 343. 343 plants. In terms of the drugs found, and there were no accused, no person arrested for these. We have cannabis, 2,549.7 pounds, cocaine, 5.7 kilos, plants, 30,484. Overall totals, cannabis, 4,200.1 pounds, cocaine, 109.8 kilos, and plants, 30,827 in all.
Real estate officials say confidence is returning to the local market, but the real estate and banking industries want government to put the necessary infrastructure in place to ensure continued growth following the decline of 2008. That call came from the Managing Director of Republic Bank Limited, Ian D'Souza, at the International Property Summit held at the Concord Experience this morning.
They have to get all of the infrastructure in Barbados. We have an issue now with security, as we're all aware of. That has to be brought under control, because you certainly, if it's one thing, and coming from Trinidad, I can tell you this, there's one thing that is going to scare money away is a breakdown in security. So we have to get the infrastructure issues right. We have to get the security right, the other services right, because that's what we have control over.
And Managing Director of CIBC First Caribbean, Mark St. Hill, says government also needs to accelerate some real estate projects as well.
There is a general feel that there are a number of projects with government agencies for either approvals or for some form of direction to be given. And if we add up that and extrapolate, it would suggest that there is confidence. So I'm not stating it as a fact, but it is suggested that government will also need to look at that and see how many projects they can accelerate and bring to the market. Because if they do that, it go back to the equation of foreign direct investment.
So you're talking about concessions, planning authorities,
yes,
etc.
In sports, national player Kimar Headley sizzled last night as St. Michael West defeated Christchurch 3-0 when the David Thompson Memorial Constituency Council's football classics continued at Friendship St. Michael. Headley's teammate Dario Haynes opened the scoring in the 5th minute, and then Headley took over the game. With fewer than 10 minutes to go in the first half, Headley made it 2-0 with a 36-minute strike. He returned after the break to continue to torment Christchurch South, and in the 84th minute, Haynes put the game to bed with another goal. There were a few more opportunities for St. Michael West, but the score would remain the same at the final whistle.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In news from the region, Trinidad's Prime Minister Keith Rowley says this week's murder of the British national Richard Wheeler and his Trinidadian wife Grace at their home in Tobago has damaged the country's international image. Rowley said he was not surprised that the UK has updated its travel advisory to Trinidad and Tobago, alerting British nationals of the double murder. Rowley told the post-cabinet media briefing today that no stone will be left unturned in the investigation, and he did not rule out seeking international assistance if necessary.
The long arm of the criminal element seems to have reached Tobago, and we are now facing the shocking development of that double murder, which not for the first time persons have been butchered in Tobago. Foreigners, elderly foreigners at that. And I am very concerned that this is a development which bears on the worst of the crime scenes that seem to be an intractable part of our national landscape. I am expecting that the security agencies will leave no stone unturned to find the perpetrator of this heinous crime. And I, like many other people in this country, see similarities between the modus operandi here and earlier action, and I am concerned that there's some person in Tobago who needs to be found at all cost.
In international news, at least 2 people have died and 3 others were injured in a sword attack at a school in Sweden today. Police say a masked man broke into the school's cafeteria, and he was later shot by officers. Video showed emergency vehicles outside of the school. And that's the evening news. There's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. We're also on Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good evening.